everyone, Alexandra here again. So today I'm going to show you how you can build a website for your own business in a matter of seconds. Now, of course, the process is going to be simple. You're going to use Zarla to create your website, and then you still have all of the options to customize it according to your own needs. However, if you've just launched your business or if you've been in business for a while but need a website, or if you simply want maybe a secondary website for your business, for a product, for a service you offer, you might not have the time to set up a website from scratch. And if you've been around for a while, you know how long the typical process of creating a website can take. So with Zarla, essentially, we're just going to use AI to create a rough website, which you can later customize. And one of the reasons I chose to review Zarla specifically is because it also helps you with all of those search engine optimization best practices. So you don't need to be a marketer like me, or a designer, or a web developer to create a website that's going to perform. So for this tutorial in particular, I'm going to create a website for an interior design business. Just give it a name. Really, the whole process starts on the homepage. Just as a disclaimer, in the future, you will be able to use the tool entirely for free. And then if you want advanced features like custom domains and so on, you will have to pay a specific monthly subscription price. So essentially, you can create your website, get the domain, and show up on Google and promote yourself on Google through the integrated search engine optimization features, all from within Zarla. So you're going to choose an industry. In my case, let's just go for interior decorating. And I'm going to briefly describe the business. The more detail, the better, because the algorithm is then going to be able to provide the correct structure for your own business. You can just say something about your business, about what you do, about your customers. And then we're literally just going to wait for the website to be generated. And this process is not too long. It's literally done in a matter of seconds. And basically, this is what the website looks like right now. Of course, you can literally just customize this. And I'm actually going to show you an example. So you can find the same example if you look for this term right here on Google. And you're going to find this website here, which was created with Zarla. So you can see it's the typical structure you might get with Zarla when you first use it. And then obviously it's customized to match their own business. And as you can see, this also ranks very well on Google because the secret is that Zarla leverages all of the online reviews that you have from your Google business page, from Yelp, just to get you higher in the rankings, if that makes sense. So, for example, with this business, of course, they're also on Yelp and everything, but it's ultimately the website that's going to be ranked first. And they also have the very good reviews on Google Maps. I prefer to review tools like this on the desktop version just because that's what I primarily use. However, if you're always on the go, like if you're a carpenter or if you're just, moving from one client to another, you can use Zarla on your mobile phone. So you can do everything we're doing right now via your mobile phone. So you can make a quick change, a quick addition to the website, even when you're on the go or just like quickly waiting for, a shipment or whatever. So if you're familiar with my reviews, most of the tools I review are the drag and drop type of editors. But in this case, it's just super simple. You just literally click on what you want to edit. So let's just take these like one step at a time. So of course, you've got your header where you have your logo, which by the way, with pretty much any element in here, you have an option to generate a new logo. By the way, Zarla does have a free logo maker, so you can use this to create a logo and then just bring it over into your website. So I'm literally just going to generate a couple of examples in here and maybe decide on this one. Then you've got the option to change your business name, change your menu here. These are the menu links. So for example, if instead of the portfolio part, you might want something like rates or costs or pricing, that's very useful. Instead of content, you can try something like reach out to me or talk to me or contact me or something a bit more personal. Then you also have your hero image. And in here, for example, you can come in and upload your own image or of course generate one. So you can just showcase your work, showcase yourself. In this example right here, I basically have a photo of me and something representative for my business, and in this case interior design. And for each of these elements, you also have an option for the exact layout of this. So for example, if you feel like the text covers the image too much, you can always just kind of work with these so it's a bit more clear for your own exact needs. So I'm just going to leave this for now. Then something else that's important is maybe the button. This is your main button, which is really your main call to action. It can be something like get started today, get a quote, see my service. In my case, I'm just going to add something like see my work. And then you can add a link to, again, this can be anything. It doesn't have to be a booking or payment site. It can be a calendar link, a link with your portfolio, the services you offer, whatever. Then we have an about section. You can even choose to remove certain parts from here if you feel like the page is too long. In my case, I generally recommend shorter pages where needed, just to make sure people focus on the things you want them to focus on instead of, them being distracted and so on. Then you have a list of services. As you can see, the text is already here. So what you're going to do next is maybe choose the lines you want to edit. So in this case, color coordination. If you don't offer this service, just replace it with something else. You can even add more. For example, a new service. So for example, a new service can be something like space organization. And just remember to always click on save. So the service is now added essentially. And if you work with the move up and down arrows, you can literally just move these elements around. Then you'll notice I have the pricing in here, but when you click on it, it takes you to the portfolio. This is because if you remember, we changed the project's portfolio button in here in the menu to pricing. So what you're going to do is click on headline and you're going to essentially just change this to the new type of content you want to share. So that can be something like what the costs are or whatever. Then you can change the text. So it can be something like, remember that all costs are customizable, or, they depend on your exact needs, or contact us for a custom cost. And then for the image, you can just create this in Canva. I'm just going to add this as an example, but you can be as creative as you want to. Again, you don't have to publicly display your costs. It's entirely up to you. Then we have the contact section, which is the reach out to me section, if you remember. We edited this at the very beginning in the menu section. Again, from here, you can just go and maybe add your phone number in here. You can even keep things fun if you edit, for example, the button instead of a simple send. You can write something like get in touch, or you can be, even more personal with this if you want to, with something like get your quote or wait for my message or something like that. Then you also have the footer where you can add your social media accounts. But what's important is that you can always add new sections in here. So a section can be, again, another maybe about section, which if you add this about section, for example, right here above the footer, you can literally turn this into anything. It doesn't have to be an about section per se. Again, it can be just you talking about your services, talking about a new product you have, a new service you have, whatever. Again, you can get as detailed as you want to. So for example, if you do have a physical business, like people coming up to your showroom or whatever, you can add a location section, which is going to look something like this, where essentially you just make it super easy for people to find you. Then, of course, you have a bunch of other options. For example, in my case, in the interior design space, I might want to use an image gallery just to showcase some of my work. So that can be like a portfolio. I can add a custom selection and I can name this something like testimonials, or, what past clients had to say. And now when this is added, it was just automatically turned into the reviews section because Zorla does have, again, since they use artificial intelligence to build this website, they do have the ability to realize that, when you want to add testimonials, that's the same thing as a review. They have a element, so to say, a section for this. So you're going to get this, and in here you can just come in and edit testimonials, or you can add more if you want to. And as always, you do have, a lot of options in here depending on your most essential needs. Generally, I recommend keeping it simple, showcasing your services, maybe some costs if they're public. Definitely have the testimonials in there. And then, besides this, you want to give people a clear option of getting in touch with you, of finding you. And as much as possible, maybe try to find something unique so that your website stands out. Now, this is it in terms of the structure of the website. And then you have all of the styling options. So this is essentially what you're going to use to make sure that the website matches your branding to some extent. If you go to regenerate, you can always change the colors, the fonts that you have in here until you find something that matches your brand guidelines, so to say. But specifically, you can always go back to regenerate your website. So you can change your space and even edit your, let's say, description. So instead of the modern designs and simplicity, I'm going to go for something like colorful designs and bold statements this time. So we're going to click on regenerate, and we essentially have an entirely new website. What's important to notice is that even the text you get is adapted to the statement, so to say, the description of your business you just added. So in this case, it's going to be customized for my new passion for color and bold statements type of messaging. And it's the same for the portfolio part, as you can see in here. So it does leverage generative AI in terms of both the design as well as the actual text. So you don't have to be, a copywriter to put this website from scratch together. Instead, what you're going to do is obviously come in here and edit it so that it matches your branding as well as your voice. Because what you'll notice is that with Zarla, you get, a pretty typical or formal type of text. In my case, I also do use this type of text with my services, but if it does not match your branding or your just personality, you'll want to simply edit this. Now, let's go to the next step, and that is launching the website. Now, I have here another website I created where I'm on a paid plan. So I've essentially launched this, and we can just see what this looks like when it's live. So this is the preview that you get. You can just test this around. And here on the right side, you have your sharing options. So right now, this is what the link looks like when you don't have a custom domain. So if you go to testing to ZerlaSites.com, you will be able to find this website live, essentially. Now, even after the website is live, you can always go to edit this. Remember how I mentioned the SEO features? You can actually test the SEO performance of this by clicking right. Then you go to inspect. Now, the first thing you'll notice here, if you choose, for example, a specific type of device, like a mobile phone, for instance, you'll see how this is responsive. So the design is automatically responsive for both desktop and any kind of mobile device and tablets. So this is actually a common issue with SEO these days. A lot of websites aren't optimized for mobile performance, and you definitely need this because when people are looking for a business in their area, or for just someone to quickly help them with an issue, you need to have a presentable website on a mobile device as well. Now, to test the SEO performance, you can go to Lighthouse right here, And under Lighthouse, we are going to test for best practices and search engine optimization. And just note this test is done specifically for the mobile version of the website, but you can also choose to run a separate test for the desktop version. And as you can see, we have a perfect 100 score for everything. If you don't see a perfect score, it might be because of the extra Google add-ons, extensions you have, or if you have too many tabs open, but generally it should work, perfectly. And let me just run one more test. We're going back to Lighthouse by clicking on the plus sign on the left side here. And we're going to run a test for desktop as well. So this is just good to note because frankly put, a lot of websites don't have this perfect optimization and it's difficult to get it correctly. So what Zarla does is it really helps you make sure you have a perfect website from day one, if that makes sense. Really, this is it. This is how you can get a website straight away for, a small business that you have, or it can actually work for more advanced type of companies. So it's perfect for, freelancers, small businesses, small teams, all the way up to enterprise companies, especially if you want to scale your business. So you can have either just one website for your service or have maybe separate websites for services in different areas. So maybe you have a small business across different counties or countries. And in this case, you might want to consider having a separate website. It's like entirely up to you. But remember that you would be able to customize your Zarla website for the specific location, for the specific language, for anything that's customary or required within a specific region. Now, I will leave a link to try Zarla in the comments below. Remember that you can try it for free. The only issue with the free plan is that you won't get a custom domain and some of the more advanced features, which are going to be launched soon. But again, this is perfect if you just want to literally launch your website today without spending too much time. And my general recommendation is to get started as quickly as possible. So just make sure you're visible online, if possible today, but then you can come, every week or whatever and tweak your website depending on what people need. So, for example, if you have people that commonly ask the same questions, or if you have certain requirements your clients generally have, you'll want to add those frequently asked questions, those concerns, just common queries on your website to make sure that you address any potential problems or needs ahead of time. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.